Would you say yes to a film before even reading the script? On this episode of the MarshyCast, I'm joined by actor Max Beesley to talk about Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Ghost War, premiering globally on Prime Video. We chat about what made him jump on board so quickly, why he might just be the perfect person to play a psychotic killer, and the incredible car chase sequence that nearly got the entire production shut down. Plus, Max reveals the one scene where he worked with an actor he hugely admired, but surprisingly chose not to over-rehearse it. And finally, the epic closing moments of the film gave me serious classic movie vibes. But did Max agree? It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Max Beesley for Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Ghost War. Max, thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be here with you, Paul. Thank you for having me.
So Jack Ryan has such a massive legacy now. When they approached you about Ghost War, was it an immediate yes, or did you want to know exactly what world you were stepping into?
Well, obviously, I was edging towards a yes before I even looked at the script, but it was Andrew Bernstein, the director, who I'd worked with on a show called The Outsider for HBO, a Stephen King adaptation. I worked with him on that job, and Bateman directed the first two, and then Andrew directed them, and we got on great. And he said, look, we're going to make the movie. I said, well, Patriot Games is one of my favourite ever movies. He said, oh, well, that's interesting because we're shooting some of it at the Royal Naval Base as well. I said, okay. And he said, yeah, this guy, he's very dark, ex-Special Forces, possible sociopathic, psychotic, not sure, I'll let you decide, but I think you're perfect for it. And I was like, thanks, Andrew, that's very kind of you. A little bit rude. But yeah, so then...
Backhanded compliment there.
Backhanded compliment, yeah. And then, I got the script. Obviously, you know, John's a terrific actor, Sienna, terrific, Wendell, wonderful. And then it became a no-brainer.
So obviously a lot of it was filmed in London. Now, I knew it was fiction because there's a high-speed chase in the middle of London. And as we know, the average speed in London is around about 9 miles an hour. I'd love to know how much of that action stuff did you actually get to do for yourself?
So those car chases, we refer them to as the Sicario car chase. Lee Morrison was the stunt coordinator on the movie. He's one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
And he had Parliament in his office. He had Parliament, a miniature version of Parliament Square, Horse Guards Parade, Ludgate Hill, St Paul's, with all of the 100, 200 vehicles all mapped out, and then my car, and then Wendell's car, and he would take us through it. We did a day at the Top Gear track. Spent about 30 minutes in the car, and he said to me, yeah, you can drive. Okay, so I know you can drive. On the day, I'm going to get you in as much as I can. But obviously, you're working with, there are many multiple moving parts on the day. Yeah. You got 1,500 extras, and you've got 150 stunt artists. So he got me in for at least 30-35% of that driving, which was brilliant.
Wow.
And so you're learning how to drift. I had a teacher, Martin Ivanov was my double who drove the car. He did all of Matt Damon's work in the Bourne franchises, and he also did a lot of the Bond films. Incredible driver, incredible. And Lee would say, get in with Martin, learn it. Boom. Go again, learn it, and then he'd say, right, and we had clearance actually up to, I think it was 55 or 60, I can't remember, miles per hour. We had clearance, and the city had not given that for years because I think there might have been some kind of incident with one of the statues. I can't remember which one it was on a movie that was shooting in central London, and I think the Queen, rest her soul, said that's it. Anyway, we got clearance, and I think I was going down Horse Guards Parade past the Cenotaph, and on the radio, when I stopped, I threw the car around the corner. When I stopped, Lee came running over. He went, you're over 60. If you do that again, you're out of the car. I'm putting Martin in. He said, if you clip that Cenotaph, that's it. It's over for us all. And I'm like, okay, sorry, brother. I didn't realise. So yeah, we got to do a lot of it, and I think that those sequences look incredible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love that. Now, talking of brilliant scenes, there is a brilliant scene with Wendell Pierce. As an actor, are those the days that you really, really look forward to?
Yeah, Wendell's a Wendell is a one-off gentleman. He's a king. I do refer to him as a king. And when we met, we'd heard of each other through a casting director, Alexa Fogel in New York, who put Wendell in The Wire years ago. He's a huge music lover. He plays a bit as well. He's a massive jazz fan. He used to live with Wynton Marsalis. They shared a room together in New York, I think. And he'd listen to my music, and that was the opening. That was the door opening between he and I getting on incredibly well on that movie. And we'd say throughout shooting the other bits, do you want to take a look at that scene? And he'd be like, we'll swing it, man. We'll just swing it. And then we'd have a tiny look. But then what I noticed is there was reticence with both of us not to want to really look at it until the day. And I know what type of actor he is. He knows what type of actor I am. And we both know that we would have prepped and prepped and prepped and prepped. So when you get into that scene that you're talking about in Trafalgar Square, there's 1,500 extras. You've got the whole of Trafalgar Square locked off. And it is a very intense scene that you've just got to be in it and you've got to nail it. There's no other way around it. And you can get a little twitch with scenes like that, but if you've done enough homework and you've made the correct choices and you're working with someone like him, I mean, listen, I always say this, acting, the most important thing is A, being relaxed, and B, listening. They're the two most important things.
Yeah.
You know, the dialogue, that's secondary. I would never say that to a prolific writer, but but those are the important things. He and I on that day, we were in the makeup chair. Morning, Max. Morning, Wendell. Coffee. We walk silently up to Trafalgar Square. We're under the umbrellas with the director, with John, with Alison, the producer. We just talk the lines through. Talk. Then we look at the shots. And then I ask the director, obviously, because it's such an intense scene, are you coming in tight first, or how are you working it? And then he'll say, no, I need to come here first, or I need to do that. And I'm like, okay, bum. And then you do the work. And he is a beautiful man, Wendell, and we did swing on that scene. And both of us walked off Trafalgar Square feeling that we'd done a good day's work.
It's a brilliant scene, an absolutely
nice
brilliant
of you to
scene.
say.
Finally, because we are running out of time, without giving anything away, by the way, the final act feels absolutely huge, and it gave me a little bit of Die Hard energy. You know, trapped, pressure in a building, nowhere to escape. Were those kind of comparisons ever talked about on set?
No, I don't think so. I think it's Sicario for the car chase, but I think they just wanted to make this just like a massive, high-stake, action-packed picture with matching narrative, you know, with all of those iconic characters that people have watched and grown to love through the Jack Ryan universe. You know, for me personally, I have my own ideas of what those moments were. But we did 4 or 5 days in that server room, which we shot, and it was intense. You know, you've got SFX going off left, right, and centre. You've got reloads to remember, you've got dialogue to remember, and you want to look slick and as quick and as real as possible. And I think when they cut to the exterior of those shots with the helicopter and the Dubai shots are just incredible. And I was there on the night when the boys were going up in the chopper to get those shots. We were up on the top of the building and they were hovering just next to us. It's just amazing, man, you know. And it's the wonder of filmmaking, which never leaves me. I still love it. It's the same thing I get if I walk on one of the lots here in Los Angeles. I still get that like Willy Wonka's like welcoming you into Paramount or even the Sony lot or Warner Brothers, you know. And that's not left me since. I think I did a picture there in 2001, Warner Brothers, and I remember seeing that big WB and the sun was setting, and I just was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I still have the same feeling, 25 years later, which is a great thing.
Well, look, I absolutely loved it. My only grumble is the fact that it wasn't an 8-hour series, to be honest with you.
Oh, bless
Max,
you.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for talking to me, Max. I really do appreciate it. Tom Clancy's Jack
so much,
Ryan
brother.
Ghost War is premiering globally on Prime Video on the 20th of May. Max, thank you so much. I wish it nothing but success.
Thank you, sir. Have a lovely rest of your day, and thanks for your time.